All right, good evening, Spanish 1. Tonight we're going to talk about los artículos definidos, which in English is translated as the definite articles. These are very important. I talked about this in class. Something we're going to be learning in this chapter. It's something you need to learn because it's used in sentences. It's used in English a lot. You know, the boy, the chair. We use them a lot. So in Spanish, they're necessary also. But one of the big things you're going to have to learn is that everything has gender and number, plural and singular, and masculine and feminine, which is going to be important on the los artículos definidos. So when we take a look at los artículos definidos, in English we use the word the. Right? We have things like the, chair. Chair is the noun, but the, right here, that is what we call the definite article in English. It's an article. But in Spanish they're going to have a little bit different, but that's what we use. It's the chair, the desk, the desks. It doesn't matter if it's singular or plural. It's pretty much just the. In the definite articles. Indefinite, we'll get to later. It's a little bit different. But used when we're talking about a definite thing or concept, and I'm not using thing as a loose term. I'm using thing actually represent a thing, an object. So like the desks or even the boy. He's a thing. He's something in front of us, or a concept that we'll see it more in Spanish. Instead of saying hope, you're gonna have an actual word with it, an article in front of it. Same thing as love, el amor. So we'll see that in Spanish, not so much in English. Now, when we take a look at the table, just like everything I always do, we have to look at the table and we have to see what is going on in the table. So we have 4 different definite articles that you need to learn. El, la, los, las. Those are the 4 that we have. They all mean the in English, but depending on what the noun is, whether it's singular or plural or masculine or feminine, we have differences. So what we need to look at and see is which one is which. So this is going to be the masculine on the table. This whole row right here. This whole row is going to be masculine, and then this whole row is going to be feminine. This whole thing will be feminine. And then going down in the column, the first column will have singular, and the second column will have plural. All right, so we have el, la, los, las. Those are very important to get down in your notes because then later on we'll have some practice with them. So we're going to come up to some ejemplos, and we're going to be looking at what is the definite article. So if we're seeing this, we're looking at chico. This is the noun that we're looking at. It's O. It ends in O, so it's masculine. O, things that end in O. All right, anything that ends pretty much in O is going to be masculine. A tend to be feminine. All right, and if it doesn't have an S, it's probably singular. If it has an S, it's plural. So we're looking at this and we say el chico. So we look at it. O, it ends in O, must be masculine. No S, it's it's singular. So that's how we get the el. We go back and look on that little chart, and if we look at that chart, we have el, la, los, and then las on that chart. So that's how we get it. Same thing here. We have la chica. It ends in A, so it must be feminine. It doesn't have an S, so therefore it is singular feminine, which is this one right here, la. Then we have los aburridos. We see it ends in O, so it's masculine, but it has an S, so it's plural. So it's right here, los. That's how we get this. That's how we get this little, los, the article right there. And then finally, what we come to is las aburridas, which means, the bored girls. This is the bored guys, or bored guys and girls. This is just only bored girls. Las aburridas, we look at the A, find out that it's feminine. The S at the end, it shows us that it's plural, so that's what we use. That's the article that we use. The boy, the girl, the boring boys, and then the boring girls. So these are all these right here. They all just mean the. Alright, they all mean the. That's the definite article. But in Spanish, we have to look whether a noun is masculine or feminine, and singular and plural. Alright? So the last thing that we're going to come to is the práctica, which is what you're going to do. You're going to try to look at the nouns. The nouns are these things right here. And look and sit there and say, it ends in O, so is it masculine or feminine? And is it singular or plural? And then try to come up with what these are right here. Looking back on your notes, looking back at the chart. So I'm going to give you a second, pause the video, and then we'll go over what they are. Alright, pause it right now. So now when we take a look at what we have right now, we have el, la, los, las, which are the 4 different ones over there on the side. So we look and we say, well, this ends in O, doesn't have an S, therefore it must be el. So we take el, we're going to write in right here, el. Los señores, what we see is, señor is for a guy, right? And it has an S, so it's masculine, and it's plural, so it has to be los. Then we take a look at blusas. It's an A, it has an S at the end, so therefore it must be las. And finally we have an O and an S, so therefore it must be los. So good luck and with this, and we'll talk more about different articles in class and work with them also. But el, la, los, las, you really need to get those down. It means the word the in English. Put them right before the noun. Alright, so have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow or the next day.